Hi everybody, it's time for us to spin another flower, and today we are obviously going to be doing a black base coat. This is Amsterdam oxide black mixed with water, and we'll be doing a red flower on top today. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna pour out my little square. Now let's go ahead and give this a little spin just to thin it out a little bit and smooth it out. Let's do a little depth check. I just want to make sure that I have enough base coat. So my center is probably about here. Okay. So you see how much paint I have on this brush? I mean, that might be really hard to see. That is about the depth that I want the center to be, which is quite thin. This is about the thickness that I use for my regular Dutch pours too. Now around the petal, I want it to be slightly thicker, and it's not. So I will need to add more base coat down because this is all the same. So yeah, I will be adding a little bit more base coat down around here. And the reason I want it slightly thicker, not too thick, but slightly thicker on the outside is because I do want to make sure that the petals have enough base coat underneath them to actually make it to the edge. But before I put more base coat down, I'm gonna go ahead and just find my center with the first color that I'll be laying here. Maybe there. All right, and this is titanium light buff, by the way. The red colors that I'm gonna be using on top are, what? Oh, is there black in here? There sure is, that's okay. The red colors I'm using on top are transparent. So I want to make sure that I have an opaque color down here as a barrier between them. I would have loved to have used cadmium red that's opaque, but the only cadmium red I had was a Liquitex color, and it's kind of old. And I did a color test, and unfortunately it threw up so many cells. Like, it just totally took over. I was like, okay, well, I'm not using that. And I did order some cadmium red Amsterdam, but I won't have it for another week. So I'm using carmine red and then also red violet. Once again, they're both transparent colors. I did do a color test with these and it looked really pretty. So I just hope that, you know, too much of that black doesn't pop through and mute the colors. Let's go ahead and pour out more of the base coat really quick. I'm probably gonna pour it out about right here starting. And the reason I'm pouring the base coat out first before I start laying the rest of my colors is just in case there's more air bubbles in here. I want to, like, every color I lay down, I'm going to be torching. And I just want to make sure that I give this enough time for as many bubbles as possible to rise up so that I can torch them before I start doing my actual blowout. All right, quick depth check here. Okay, that's actually okay, but let's go a little further out. And see, it's just slightly deeper than what it is in the center. And that's what I'm looking for. All right, next color is carmine red. We're gonna go Vandyke brown, hopefully to give this red a little bit of depth. Red violet on top. I'm gonna do just a little bit more brown on top of that too. And now we've got light gold in the center. That might be a little too much gold, but I do want a lot of gold in there, so I think we'll be okay. I am going to put more of this carmine around here. That's a lot of paint, actually. Let's just see how this works out. Once again, a little more brown around here too. Let me go ahead and draw one of my spikes, of course. Oh, wrong color. Look at me. I'm already messing things up, guys. That's okay. A little bit of red violet right there won't hurt anything. All right, let's do the first blowout and see what happens here. Okay, that is quite pretty, isn't it? Let's do the second blowout. I think I'm going to take the next one straight down from there, and then I'll do the other two on the sides. Let me actually turn this around and do the blowout. Okay, that's quite nice. Now I am gonna do a little check in the center just to make sure. So my hairdryer has a really big concentrator on it, and when I blow, it blows these really wide swaths of paint, which is one reason I love it, because it does produce really big, pretty, fluffy blooms, but it can also move a lot of that paint out of the center. So I just wanna make sure I'm gonna have enough. That's fine over there. Okay. I know that looks super weird, doesn't it? Okay, really low torch. All right, let's go ahead and blow this one out. I just wanted to make sure I'm gonna have enough paint in the center because that's getting kind of thin already. I actually like how that center kind of goes whoop. You know, maybe I don't try to blow the center out. Maybe I just try to catch like the edge. I don't know. Okay. You know, when I put too much thought into how I want to blow it out, that's usually when things go wrong. So maybe I just do it how I normally do it. Okay, we're going to go straight that way. And it's a good thing that I closed the cap on this because that was my red violet again. That's not the color I want. All right, carmine. Last one, let's not mess it up. So that is a really, really pretty blowout, which in my experience, when I have the beautiful blowouts, my flowers turn out horrible. When I have the weirdest, funkiest blowouts, I end up having the most beautiful flowers. So we'll see what happens here. All right, let's go ahead and separate out the petals a little bit here. Where do we start? Let's go. I think that is it for the separation. I think that some of these petals will struggle a little bit, so I am gonna pour a little bit more base coat around, actually all of them. Let me go ahead and also hit the center a little bit. See if there's any other cells. I'm fine with cells in the center, especially if they get nice and big, because I think it's kind of cool looking. And I'm not getting a whole bunch here. Okay, that's okay. Let's go ahead and spin this thing out. This is really off center. I'm gonna you go. So I do speed up the spins when I do my videos, but I'm not really spinning this very hard because I don't really need to. Now, trust me, there are some times when they're just not moving and I gotta go really hard and really fast, but this is a pretty light spin here because this is blooming out really, really nice. And in fact, I'm not really sure I need a whole lot more. I think I'm gonna go one more light spin and then I think we're gonna call it. No, we're gonna go one more. Once again, these aren't very hard spins, but there are two petals that I'm eyeing that I want to creep a little bit closer over. And I think actually that we're good now. This one, I would have liked to have gone a little bit further out too. However, I don't want to compromise the rest of the petals because if you notice, I did lose a lot of gold over here because I kept going. Plus, I think this is actually really cute. I'm not sure how well the camera can see this, but the red, I mean, the petal itself is actually going over the edge and it looks really nice. It's just you have that outline of the gold that might make it look like it's not, but it's really pretty. I actually love this flower. Normally I have a hard time telling from my vantage point like what the overall composition looks like, just because this is kind of high, but I can tell you right now that I think it looks pretty awesome. You know, I never use red. Well, I mean, I don't say never, but hardly ever. I mean, I have like 15 different types of blue mixed, 10 different types of green. I mean, any color, you name it, and I've got like a ton of different shades of it. Except red. Except red. Y'all, this is it. One of the quickest flowers ever. I think I did more talking than actually painting. I love this, and no scraping, no reshaping. I'm totally fine with it as it is. Absolutely love it. I love the gold thrown throughout. Not all the petals, but some of them. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take the camera down. I will take you all in for some close-ups, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back, and I really do love this little flower. Sorry about the reflection from the lights, but it is really cute. Everything about it, the colors, the composition, even the center. Like I said, I will be doing another one when I get my cadmium red. I think it'll be nice to have, you know, two red flowers, one slightly darker, but this is it. This is it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. There's nothing I don't like about it. I really like it a lot, but let me see if I can't get you in the edges. See, the edges are so dark, like what I'm seeing in real life is really, really pretty, but I don't think you can tell just because of the reflection on that black. But anyways, here you go. This is it. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all enjoyed the painting, and have a great day.